Welcome to another edition of the MLR Show brought to you by our friends at the Fairway Restaurant and Bar in Evanston, Wyoming. I'm Elon Olive, joined by our panel. We have the owner of MLR Productions, Mr. Matt Petrie,
Hello, all.
as well as one of our broadcasters for the UHSRA, Blaine Myers.
What is going on, fellas?
We got a great show for everybody today. We have Caleb Tree, 2026 NHSRA Boys Cutting World Champion, joining us later on. But first, we're going to talk about what happened in Oakley this weekend to open up the UHSRA. And then we got a special surprise for everybody. So you want to stick around because I think especially the competitors are going to be really interested in this new segment here. Matt, you and I got a chance to go to Oakley to open up the UHSRA season. Last year, Oakley was amazing. This year, no exception.
Not at all. We on paper it looked like it was going to be as good, if not better, than last year. It did not disappoint at all.
No, not at all. Let's go ahead and talk about Friday night. Uh, Davy Joe Tebbs, a name we are not familiar with, comes out with a 1.79 to take the win on night one.
Yeah, breakaway was fast. I think you had to be right at 3 seconds or under to be in the top 10. So that 179. I was hoping for a repeat of last year with the 19, 18, 17, but hey, we got the lowest time, so all good.
Absolutely. And then in the barrel racing, it kind of continued from the state finals. A lot of low 16s. Matter of fact, Brooklyn Ivy burned in a 16-0, and we thought, oh, that's got to be it, right? Well, a young lady with the last name of Bastion from UNA Basin, Katie Bastion, decided to prove us wrong with a deceptively fast 15-9.
Yeah, it was deceptively fast, but man, it just continued from the state finals into this weekend, and barrel racing is going to be something to watch at the UHSRA this year.
So that was our night one. Let's go ahead and bring up some highlights from the other arenas that we were not able to cover. But while I do that, Blaine, you saw the broadcast. What were your thoughts of night one?
Yeah, I got to see night one and the barrel racing. Wow. That was, it's always, you get down to those lower barrel racers, either in a big draw like this or, in a futurity or a derby, and you're always waiting for that last 10 because there's always someone that comes in and has the fastest time and bumps everybody. So it was some fast stuff. I thought that was going to hold by Brooklyn, but you know it was a good job. She came back Saturday and was faster though.
Yeah, I was about to say she got the win on Saturday. So first place, second place usually means you're number one in the state, and that's exactly
Yeah.
what happened to Brooklyn Ivy after the opening weekend. Let's talk about the events we didn't get to see on Friday. Let's go to the steer wrestling. Matt, in a field where there's Cutter Kelly, Ace Austin, Alex Marshall, Cruz Rob, it was Oak Smith who came out firing 5.37 to win on Friday night.
Yeah, a couple of newcomers from Idaho to watch out for, and they made it well known this weekend that they're here to win a Utah state title.
Oak Smith is an all-around cowboy contender, a massive all-around cowboy contender. Because that night, what does he do? He follows up his first place steer wrestling win with a third place in the tie down on Friday and a second place on Saturday. The third place, though, look at this. Coda Peterson and Kyson Gordine, each with sub 10-second runs, 9.050 and 9.480 for Peterson and Gordine.
Yeah, you start getting close to that 8 seconds in tie down. You're doing something right. But this year, this season, that's what you're going to have to be in the tie down. You're going to have to be 10 or under to win.
Matt, you want to talk about what you had to be in order to get points In order to be in the top seven, you had to be in the 7 second range in the goat tying. Of course, Ellie Thompson gets the win. Blaine, you watched Ellie Thompson, but listen to the rest of these names. Emery Wilson-Hume was second with a 7-3. Hadley Olson was third with a 7-4. Fallon Williams was fourth with a 7-5. Oakley Allen was fifth with a 7-6. Hadley Hunt 7-7. And it just goes on and on and on. You got a chance to watch the state finals of the goat tying. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, those times are pretty. I mean, they are stacked. I mean, if we're going to have this all season, I mean, this is going to be down to the wire come, middle of May when we're in Delta in the spring. But man, just these top 10 names are, kind of a repeat of what we've seen, with a few additions in that short go at the state finals. And man, Ellie is out for it, it seems like this year. I mean, even, in the barrel racing and stuff, she was pretty tough, just the barrel racing was tougher, but it's going to be fun to watch this year, with all these, how close and consistent all the times are.
Matt.
Yeah, I mean, it's we saw a lot of changes there at the state finals, and it's like every other event this year. I mean, it's you can't predict a winner right now. There's no way to with all the competition. I don't think you can even predict a top 10 right now.
No, not at all. Speaking of Ellie Thompson, she had a great day Friday. We saw her get points in the barrel racing. We saw her get points in the breakaway. She won the goat tying. She's third in the pole bending with the 21.051. But the winner of the first pole bending of the year, Jane Jennings, carrying her momentum from the national finals into the UHSRA, she is going to prove very formidable for Blake Larson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't I looked quick and I didn't even see Blake's name on there. So
She's not.
there's a there's a mix up in the standings already.
Hmm.
Well, I don't think she competed Friday because she's only in Saturdays. So, but yeah, I mean, Jane is her pole pending's coming along. Ever since the state finals and into the national finals. Wow, she's and what I seen of the barrel racing and stuff too. She had a pretty good time. Just wasn't fast enough for that Friday night. So she's going to be an all around contender probably too.
Yeah. Let's go to the rough stock side of the arena. Bareback riding boys, we got ourselves a race already. Wiley Thomas wins night one. Quirt Payne won Saturday, and guess what? Quirt was second on night one. Wiley Thomas was second on night two. Wiley Thomas and Quirt Payne, and don't count out Rhett Kelly. Those three, they are going to be hunting for a state championship, Matt.
Yeah, it's a sorry, I gotta say it. It's a three-horse race right now. I mean, it's um I think what Court and Wiley are tied at the top for the overall standings, and Rhett's 3 points behind.
Mhm.
I mean, it doesn't get a whole lot closer than that.
Saddle bronc riding, we need a little bit of help. Blaine, we got to get one covered on Saturday in front of us in Duchesne. We went 0 for 4 in the high school saddle bronc riders, so hopefully we can get something going in the right direction. But let's talk about the JV bull riding. Quade Anderson dominated on Saturday. Guess what, Matt? He did the same thing Friday. Is this freshman going to be moving up to high school bull riding before we know it?
You know what? I bet he stays in JV this year and moves up next year. Just gets his feet under him, but there's no reason he couldn't this year.
Blaine.
I mean, if you're going to ride consistently in the JV in the fall, maybe I would move up in the spring and see if you can get some points, make it, I mean, get to the state finals at least, and then kind of let it, be where it may be. But man, if you're going to ride like that, you just well get in with the big guys.
He also rode saddle steer in junior high, so it makes you wonder if we may see him enter in the JV Bronx at some point. I mean, that's a question that's for him obviously, but I was very impressed with the control Quade Anderson had on these JV bulls. So let's go ahead and move to Saturday. Talk about some events we didn't get to cover. Matt, I don't know if you saw it, but Great. Davy Joe Tebbs got the win on Friday. We saw that in front of us. Shacey Murray gets the win on Saturday. I mean, it's you have to go all the way down to fifth to find one of the quote unquote favorites, and of course that's Ellie Thompson.
Yeah, I think breakaway is going to be a lot of fun this year. Just getting to know new girls that are out roping. I mean, and they're no slouches on times. Obviously, the 1.7, there was a bunch of 2.1s. You know, it's uh, it's going to be a lot of fun this year, and I think it's just going to depend on the penny calves. We saw it Friday night. The first few out had to learn that these calves were fast. You had to come out throwing, you know, two swings and the air rope's got to be in the air, or you're not going to be in that lead.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it surprised me Friday night that more girls did not start going at the barrier. It
Yep.
I mean, at least half were waiting for the calf to clear, and they had to go when they nodded on most of those calves. So a lot of the ladies in the breakaway have either somebody's got to let them know, hey, when they're that fast, you got to go because you're not going to be able to compete in the twos if you wait that long. So you really got to get out. But man, how about the Morses on Saturday? That's Journey and Dottie might come down to the final two, right?
But yeah, I mean, we were actually kind of talking about it. Dottie missed on Friday, but Journey was right there in the top
Yep.
10. So me and Matt were kind of talking like, could this be a sibling rivalry for a little bit here? So it could get really fun. In the steer wrestling though, Cutter Kelly came out and he proved that probably any other state but Utah, not only is he going to the Nationals this next year, he's probably a state champion.
Yeah, I mean, steer wrestling is what bull riding was last year. You got 10 or 12 guys, if you get right down to it, that could come out and win, but you're going to have to be at least in the fives to win every day, if not in the fours to take that top spot.
Yeah, Cutter wins with a 4-8. Ace Austin is second with a 5-2. Cruz Rob, the freshman, he's doing exactly what we figured he'd do. He's immediately putting himself towards the top of the leaderboard with a 5-6. And then Alex Marshall gets a chance to show what he can do with a 5-8. That's your top four. I mean, it's unreal, and it was so much fun to watch. The another event that was fun to watch, Matt, the final numbers are in. Of the 58 tie down ropers, we had 33 times.
Yeah, and both days were like that. I mean, they were catching this weekend, and it was good to see. I mean, a lot of guys coming out and catching. It's going to be the groundwork that separates everybody.
Yeah, for sure. And nobody had better groundwork on Saturday than Logan Loveridge. Not one of the guys we've talked about as a favorite, but he edges out Nixon Levitt and Oak Smith. A real name to kind of that we need to kind of keep an eye on moving forward.
Yeah, I don't know how much you watched playing on Saturday, but tie down roping kept you on the edge of your seat the whole time.
Yeah, I'm looking at all the times. I didn't get a chance to watch Saturday stuff, but holy cow. He had four, or what is that, 4 tens, and
Yeah.
the 11-0 is almost, that's almost in the 10. That's crazy.
Well, and I'm pretty
Um,
sure Austin Taylor had a 9 but broke the barrier too.
oh man.
And I would imagine Coda, he dropped his piggin string and it was 11, so he was probably gonna be 9 as well.
A guy that kind of has been creeping up from the state finals to, just this weekend is McCade Sweat. He's doing a pretty good job lately. And, he's not, I mean, a 10-7 is not too bad when you're running against the competition we have in this UHSRA. So I'd look for him. He's coming on.
Absolutely. Let's move on to the barrel racing. Matt, we thought a 15-9 was fast. Brooklyn Ivy, who was second place on night one, burns in a 15-7 to beat second place Hallie Brindley by a 2/10 of a second. Huge run for Brooklyn Ivy. We talked about it on the broadcast how A year ago in Oakley, she had a breakout moment. She was top five and she was super excited. Now, Brooklyn Ivy's a legit state championship contender.
She is, and I think there was a second 15-second run on Saturday, wasn't there?
Yeah, there's a 15-7 and a 15-9.
Yeah, so I mean, she's Brooklyn's definitely a contender for that top spot. But I mean, you got the Izzy Coughlin's, you got the who else? I mean,
Charlie
there's
Bastion, Olivia McNulty.
Charlie
It's
Bastion. Yeah.
it's all over the place.
So it's like we said earlier, it's just a continuation of what happened at the state finals.
Blaine.
Isn't that crazy? A 16,167 on Saturday is 10th. That's 10th place. That's great. And you look at Fridays, I think it was a 2 100s, but you look at all the times, it's like everybody, the horses were like, oh, this is a pretty easy pattern. Boom. Everybody just shifted up, 400ths of a second, like uh, Brooklyn did. That's some good horsemanship, and the horses coming in and knowing the pattern that second day. So.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the goat tying. There was a name that we kind of picked before the state finals that if she got on a roll, she could be a legitimate contender to win her second state title, not second in the goat tying, but second state title in her career. We're talking about Hadley Olson. She wins Saturday with a 6.82. Kenna Hudson was second with a 7.45. Hadley Olson, we've said it before, she is a future all-around champion, most likely. I mean, Ellie Thompson has gotten off to a flying start. It's going to be really, really hard to stop her already. But Hadley Olson, she's won a breakaway state title. We know what she can do anywhere in the arena, but a 6.8, that's got to make her one of the top names that you'd put towards the top of that board in the goat tying, Blaine.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, that's once again, they're just stacked. You look at Saturday and you have most of the contenders there, and then you skip to the points and where it stacks out. I mean, it's already compressed, and it's probably going to be a run to the finish line, like we've said in most every event. It's going to be like we'll be going, oh no, she was leading last week. Somebody else is leading this week.
Oh, that's right. Blaine doesn't know yet.
Yeah.
So they've changed the point rules. You're not taking the 10 best rodeos anymore. You're
Yep.
taking the 8 best rodeos.
Yep.
So that means these state title races are going to get even tighter going into state
Yep.
because you're probably going to have in every event two people who have topped out on points going into the state finals, Matt.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it just tightens it up that much more, and
Oh yeah.
you know, fewer rodeos this year, so you got to be you got to be in that top 10 almost every weekend.
Yeah. Matt, let's talk about team roping. Devin and Coda, 4.52. I mean, they were second on night one, so they're the number one team in the state right now. We're not surprised at all.
Not at all. And I mean that run was just if you blinked your eyes, you missed it. I mean,
Mhm.
but it was just picture perfect. Turn the steer, catch the heels, and it was done. And I don't know where they were. They were probably what halfway through or so
Yeah.
of the runs, but you knew it was pretty much done at that point.
Well, and it's exactly what we come to expect to see from them. If they can be that team consistently, no one is going to beat them, not just in this state, but they can probably go out and win Intermountain Icebreaker. They can probably go out and win national finals. They can probably go get another cinch world title. If they're going to be roping like that and do what they did these last two rodeos all season, this may be a battle for second before we even know it.
Yeah, it goes back to that word that we say every week. It's consistent. If they
Yep.
can consistently be high fours, mid fives, nobody's going to touch them.
Speaking of consistency in the pole bending, Jane Jennings takes a win and a second place, so she's already putting up some great points. But here's what struck me about the pole bending here, Matt, on Saturday. Five sub 21 second runs.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to sound redundant here. It's every single event in Utah high school rodeo that you've got to be on your A game every single day and come out and put down your best run, or you're going to get left behind.
Yeah. Really quick,
Yeah.
let's talk about bull riding, and then we'll go to our special thing that we're gonna start. Um, Bull riding, Cam's Rich gets the win with 72-point ride. Hunter Hamilton second with a 69. Great breakout performance for him. Cam's Rich right now currently sits number one in the state. Blaine, your guy, doing exactly what he needs to do right now. It is worthy to note, Billy Lewis did not ride Saturday. He rode Friday and already picked up a second place. So the young freshman is already making an impact, guys. But we'll start with you, Blaine. Cam's Rich is your guy, and he's doing exactly what he needs to do right now.
Oh, yes. I like it. It's good stuff, but it's impressive come out first weekend and I kind of called Cam's that if he can ride and like Matt said, a broken record this year is going to be everybody has to be more consistent with less rodeo points and less rodeos. So you really, when you step out there, you got to come ready to ride. And, if you're gunning to be in the top 10, you got to be ready to do that. But, how about Tyson Gordine? We kind of talked about him too, being one of those guys that could be him and Cam's coming down to the final weeks of the season to see who gets that advantage.
Well, Matt, you're not going to win the
Well,
state title this fall, but you got to keep pace with, especially with the cut of some of these rodeos.
yeah, I mean, you look at Kyson and Cam's, they've been battling out all summer in the RM rodeos. One will take first, and then the next week somebody else will take first. It happened this weekend. I mean, they dropped off to a couple of RMs, and I think each of them won one. So it is what it is. But I said on the air before he rode, I don't know much about this Hunter Hamilton kid, and as soon as he rode, we need to figure out a little bit more about him, see where he's come from, what he's doing, because he made a nice ride.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so that's what happened in Oakley. We will be live from Duchesne this weekend. Myself and Blaine, we're going to be at the indoor arena on Friday night doing barrels, goat tying, and pole bending. So we're going to get caught up with the rest of the events we haven't gotten to see. And then on Saturday, we're going to be at the outdoor arena doing the tie down roping, the steer wrestling, the team roping, and the rough stock. So should be a lot of fun. Matt, anything else before
Okay,
we move on to our next thing? Yes.
yeah, I got one thing. Have you
Okay.
looked at the all around standings?
Oh boy,
Ellie Thompson, after week one, has a
already out.
29-point lead
Hmm.
already.
Yeah, yeah. She's already putting this thing not away, but it's definitely coming. But in the all around Cowboys standings, Coda Peterson and Oak Smith separated by 4 points right now, and it's interesting because we don't have. Usually, I feel like cutting has to be part of the all around. I don't know if that's going to be the case this year because Coda is so good in team roping and tie down. Oak is a three-event cowboy, so if he can continue, he's coming for an all-around title. Kyson Gordine is very good in two of his three events. Actually, I don't think he team roped this week. Um, it's gonna be really, really interesting to see how this works out, Matt.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I pulled up the all around. Of course, the girls are on top, and
Yeah.
I just had to shake my head, like, you know what? She's she's going for her fourth. She's going to get it. But the Cowboys, that's another one that's pick your poison.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So if you listen to the broadcast early during the week, during the weekend in Oakley, we talked about how fun it would be if we could figure out a team standings. Well, me being the spreadsheet geek that I am, I went ahead and we're going to start something called the My Local Rodeo MLR Production Team Standing. So let me see if I can share that really fast. There it is. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the boys cutting. Through two rodeos, your top five teams are South Utah County, Uinta Basin, Dixie, Enterprise, and Spikers actually coming away with a really good weekend in the boys cutting there, guys. We're just going to run through these really quick and then we'll have a conversation afterwards. In the girls cutting, it's Bear River that's number one right now with 29.5 points. Wasatch second, Uinta Basin third, South Utah County fourth, and San Pete fifth. There was no rain cowers this week, so we won't go over those. Breakaway roping, Matt, who do you think is your number one breakaway roping team?
I haven't put my specs on, so I can't see your spreadsheet, but I'm gonna say I don't know, Rich County or Rich.
Uinta Basin is number one, ahead of Wasatch. South Utah County, the roping club, as we've called them, is third. West Desert is fourth, and Sevier rounds out your top five. They have 10 points. Rich County had 9 points because of what we saw from Weston. So that's something to keep an eye on. Salvin Rock Riding, points are out there. They weren't taken in Oakley, so we won't go over there. But over the steer wrestling, Uinta Basin, again, number one. Combination of Cruz Rob is definitely helping out with that. They took 15 points on day one and day two. Wasatch with Cutter Kelly is second. South Utah County with Austin is third. Bear River with Oak Smith is fourth. And West Desert with Marshall is fifth. Moving on
Yeah,
to, yeah, go ahead.
that's gonna be topsy turvy all year. But
Oh, yeah.
this is interesting, and I want to hear from the kids what they think of these team standings.
Yeah. Tie down roping. So West Desert is your number one tie down roping team. And a big reason why was you had Coda Peterson and Kyson Gordine go 1-2 on day one. They picked up 20 points. So they picked up first, second, and 10th on day one. But South Utah County, the roping club, right behind them with only back by 2 points. We're going to update this every week, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Bear River is third, Uinta Basin fourth, Lehigh is fifth. In the barrel racing, well, Uinta Basin is your number one team right now. No surprise there, Matt. Just an absolutely fantastic job by them. 40 points, and I did the math. I think it's 110 points are given out per weekend with the 10, 9, 8s all the way down. So 110 points are given out all weekend, and 40 of those points from the opening weekend went to Uinta Basin in the barrel racing.
Yeah, you can almost see that was going to happen after the first night.
Mm-hmm. San Pete pulls into second with 25 points. South Utah County third with 19. Wasatch fourth with 11. And Dixie rounds out your top five with 10. In the goat tying, South Utah County, a big help from Miss Hadley Olson, is number one with 28 points. Summit is actually second. Enterprise is third. Wasatch with 13.5 points. Of course, 10 of those coming from Ellie Thompson. She sits there fourth. And then Bear River is fifth with 13th. How about the performance by the Bear River girls side, Nat?
Oh, I mean, it's so much fun to see that club grow like it has over the last couple of years, and it's not just growing there; they've got competitors there.
Absolutely. All right, team roping's a little bit hairy. So what I might do next time is a little bit different. But what I did was I just straight up, if it's a split team, then 10 points went to each team, if that makes sense. So if you had like a South Utah County teamed up with an Enterprise, then South Utah County got 10 and Enterprise got 10. The team roping, this is where the overall team kind of exploded. South Utah County with 87 points. West Desert is second with 49. Enterprise is third with 31. Summit is fourth with 17. And Uinta Basin is fifth with 12.
That's it's gonna be a fun one to watch because I mean, what happens if people switch teams come the spring and then
Mm-hmm.
you know points start going different places? So it'll be interesting.
Blaine, you've been kind of watching your thoughts real quick.
Yeah, the Uinta Basin, they got some sharp cowboys and cowgirls this year, don't they?
They
They
do.
have really when you guys were going through the barrel racing, I was like, Basin. And then even, some of the breakaway roping, and I was like, yeah, geez. Yeah. And then just kind of looking at some of the scores and standings, do you have another sheet that puts the team, totals it all out?
Mm-hmm. I got
Do you?
I got boys
That's
totals, girls total, and overall total. So just we'll get to it. Pole bending. South Utah County number one, 23 points. Color Country, thanks to Jane Jennings, is second with 19 points. San Pete third with 17. Wasatch fourth with 14, and Lehigh rounding out the top five with 13. Moving on to the bareback riding. This one's a little bit more difficult because there's only three bareback riders, and Emory and Wasatch, Wiley Thomas and Court Payne, they're number one right now. Uh, and then of course you've got Rhett Kelly back there at third. So that one's interesting. Bull riding. Emory's still the bull riding club, guys. Cam's Rich is helping them out. 18 points. Uinta Basin though, with a second place on night two with Warner. And then you also had Billy Lewis riding for you in a basin on night one as well. So they're second. West Desert with Kyson Gordine has 10 points in third. And then Wasatch is ninth. All right. So judging from all that, who would you predict is your top teams in the girls, Matt?
Oh, I think Uinta Basin's got to be up there.
Blaine?
mm, I would say probably South Utah County.
Okay, so before we go into the boys and the girls overall, because I haven't figured out the spreadsheet of it all and how to make it a little bit fair, I did not put team roping or rein cow horse in the boys and girls overall because those are co-ed events. They are accounted for in the overall. So girls overall, Uinta Basin 99.5, South Utah County 99.
Oh, that's close.
Yeah, Wasatch is your third ranked team with 78.5. Sam Pete, good job by them, fourth with 64.5. And then Bear River rounds out the top five with 53.5, just kind of capitalizing exactly on what we talked about on how Bear River has just kind of been on a tear as of late. So, thoughts there, guys?
Boy, we
I
ought to
think
make a trophy.
we could get
Matt,
one
where's
made
your
up.
credit card?
I know.
Give
A
it away
traveling
at the end of
trophy?
the year. Yeah.
It's with my banker right now. We're gonna have to ask her about it.
We'll have to get like a little trophy, but like a big buckle that goes to the clubs and travels around the clubs or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about big buckle, not
Yeah.
one that they can wear. But but
No, I
That's
think
impressive.
you guys are gonna have fun this weekend. I mean, it's Basin's home rodeo,
mhm.
and kids always perform just a little better at their home rodeo. So we'll see what it looks like after this weekend.
Yeah. All right, boys competition, boys overall. Same leader, it's Uinta Basin, except they've got a big lead, 75.5. Wasatch is second with 63. South Utah County third with 52.5. West Desert fourth with 48. And Emory is fifth with 47. Where Uinta Basin really kind of set themselves apart was in the steer wrestling because, of course, you've got Cruz Rob, you've got Ivy. There's a lot of things there happening there for them and in the bull riding that really helped them separate themselves as well. All right, so before we go to the overall, I will say the team roping definitely affected this. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. According to the overall, and maybe I need to figure out a way to do team roping. If anyone's got any better ideas, let me know. When you bring in the 87 points that South Utah County had for team roping, it jumps them to the number one overall team, 222.5 to Uinta Basin's 157. Wasatch is third with 122.5. West Desert is fourth with 96. Enterprise rounds out your top five with 76. So that is our first ever MLR Productions team rankings. Guys, do we like it? Do we keep doing it? What are you thinking?
I
Oh,
like
I think
it.
we for
I
sure.
think they
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think they should put it in their state standings and stuff. I think it'd just make it that much better. Clubs competing against each other. I mean, they kind of do already, but it gives them something. That's why I say even if we came up with something to, as a little extra, motivation, might help out.
Owner Matt, what do you got?
I think it's great. National finals, they give team points, right? Team
Yeah.
standings.
Yeah.
So why not do it at the Utah level? One of
Yeah.
your top states in the country, do it at the club level in Utah.
And just with how fired up we're running out of time in the segment, but just with how fired up the kids got with the team aspect, with team roping, how excited they are about that, with how fired up they got with the kickball thing. I think I hope the kids really enjoy this. That's ultimately what we're doing this for. But yeah, guys, let us know what you think of that. So, anything else before we wrap it up? We got less than a minute before we go to break and come back with Caleb.
I think that about covers it.
Okay. All right. We're going to be right back. When we come back, we'll have 2026 NHSRA Boys Cutting Champion Caleb Tree live here on the MLR Show, brought to you by the Fairway Restaurant and Bar.
Weekends are meant to be enjoyed, and great food and fun are part of the plan. At the Fairway Restaurant and Bar in Evanston, located at the Purple Sage Golf Course, you will find the perfect place to eat, relax, and unwind. Enjoy a cocktail and a meal worth slowing down for. Open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, with a wide variety of delicious cuisines. Dig into their fresh soup and salad bar, or make your weekend complete with their mouth-watering prime rib every Friday and Saturday night. If you're making your way through Evanston, make your way into Fairway Restaurant and Bar. Great food, great atmosphere, where Evanston comes to eat.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the MLR Show, brought to you by our friends at the Fairway Restaurant and Bar at the Purple Sage Golf Course in Evanston, Wyoming. Joining us now, we have 2026 NHSRA Boys Cutting World Champion Caleb Tree. Caleb, thank you so much for taking the time to join us this week. First question, just what's your reaction to just everything that has happened this first freshman year?
There was a lot of mixed emotions. I mean, like being a freshman, being able to win it, going into it after my rough state finals, it was just a whole lot of mixed emotions. I mean, I went in just like, I don't have anything to lose here. I'm just gonna go lay it all out and we'll see how it pans out.
Matt, I'm going to turn it over to you. I know you got some questions.
Yeah, so I've always got to ask about the horse. Tell us about your horse. Did you train him? Did you, from his name on, tell us about your horse.
So the horse I'm using, he is a horse that I'm borrowing from Cruz Vergara. He actually showed in the UHSRA a couple years ago and graduated, and he went off to go to school, and he didn't want to just let him waste, and he didn't want to sell him. So he was like, hey, will you go show him? Just keep him going, keep him doing, keep him whatever. And it was a little bit of a rough go for the first couple shows. I mean, it was two or three that I was trying to figure him out. Everything was a little bit rough. Um, but then after that, everything kind of just clicked, and he's been such a great horse for me. And I mean, I probably wouldn't have been able to do it without him.
What's his name?
His name is Tate, or Smooth Reggae.
There you go. So, and I got to ask, you said you went from um, state finals to national finals and kind of let it just hang out there. What do you think helped you be able to do that? To put the state finals behind you and then go on?
My dad, my support, my sisters. I will say they've done a lot for me. They did a lot of that to help me be like, you may have had one rough run, and you can go back from it, and you can come and dominate.
Very good. So, just overall, tell us about your national finals experience. I mean, it obviously ended very well, but from the time you got there, what do you remember from it?
It was really hot and really humid. I mean, horses were a little bit different. Didn't have to lope them as hard. Just that humidity just kind of takes the air away from them. Um, just like standing there, you're sweating, and it's just super, super hot, just everything like that. And I mean, it's just super fun experience. Everything with the showing, without all the friends, the people you meet, it was just an awesome experience.
Very good. And to experience that in your freshman year, does that make you want to go back to Lincoln again next year?
Not necessarily Lincoln, but I would go back for dang sure.
There you go. So, all right, Elon, I'm going to kick it back to you.
All right, so you won the world on Cruz's horse. Is that
Yep.
what I'm hearing?
Mm-hmm.
What was his reaction when you talked to him the first time after that?
So when I called him after my short go run and after it went really well, and I was like, man, I might have just done it. I'm not sure yet. There's still another set, but I'm currently leading it. And he was driving on the highway, and he went and he was like, there is no way. And you could tell he was pumped up, he was excited, and it was just a super fun experience to hear him and see how he was doing.
So that's kind of cool because the very first cutting competition we broadcast, Matt and I went there. We're not familiar with the sport at this point when
Mhm.
we went and did it. But Cruz was competing in it, and he actually kind of pulled aside and actually explained to us, and we actually learned a lot about cutting through talking with Cruz. So that's a really cool kind of story that he was able to kind of help you out with that. Um, so talk to me about your reaction. You kind of gave a sneak peek a little bit. You said, "I think I might have done it," but as you mentioned, there was still a whole group. Was that just kind of were you watching every score, doing the math as it came in, or were you just doing your best not to think about it?
Yeah, so I showed and I got my horse undone, got him taken care of a little bit, and after that, there was the kids that were still above me, they still had to go. So, I mean, it was just that hurry up and wait. When you're super excited, you're super pumped. It's that, oh no, no, am I going to be able to do it? Was this good enough? Is that, and I have a lot of good family members and a lot of good supporters, and they were all there helping me. And they actually called me while I was doing this and about to go show, and they were like, all they have to be is they have to be a 120 or a 220, I mean. And that was to time me. So there was a lot of people doing the math and doing everything else just to like make sure.
So when that moment came and the final person had gone, his score had come in, and your name was still on top of the leaderboard, number one in the world at the very end of it. What emotions did you feel? Was it relief? Was it exhilaration? Was it excitement? What did you feel?
There was a lot of emotions, actually. There was lot of excitement, a lot of adrenaline going through. Like, holy, I just did that as a freshman. I have a lot of good friends. They were there pumping me up too. Like it was just a super super fun experience, and I was super excited to be able to be that fortunate and have Heavenly Father and them behind me just to support me through this whole thing.
All right. What was your sister's reaction when you won it?
There was some mixed emotions, especially where her first run didn't go as very good or as good as she wanted it to. But for the most part, there was a lot of excitement, a lot of uh, happiness, like a lot of just support.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I remember at state she was right there with you through it all. Talk to us a little bit about your goals this year. I mean, obviously you're now a sophomore, world champion, didn't get the state title. Is the state title now number one on your board for this year?
Yeah, my goal is this year just to kind of do what I did, just go through the year, not be. I was super nervous for state, but this year I'm just gonna go in and just go show. I'm not gonna worry about having that title. I'm not gonna worry about my national title again. I'm just gonna go show like I did this year.
Matt, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Yeah, just one more for you, but what's I know that there hasn't been a lot of off season, but what's the off season look like for you? Are you going to different shows, or what's your schedule like?
Yeah, so there is not much of an off season. So we go to a lot of UCHA shows or NCHA shows through those high school rodeos. I miss a couple high school rodeos to go to the NCHA ones. So it's just there is not really much of an off season, especially in the cutting.
That's probably good in a lot of ways. You don't get rusty and stay right in there.
Yeah.
So no, I want to say congratulations. We're all so proud of bounce back from state to go to nationals and win that thing, and love to see you do it again this year.
Well, thank you.
I've just got one more question, just kind of a curious question. And we talk a lot on the broadcast about how much training must go into these horses. Can you kind of talk to us a little bit about the behind the scenes work that you're doing before you go show?
There is a lot of behind the work there or behind the screen, off the screen. Like we work horses. We try to work horses Monday through Saturday. We do have some horses that you give them a couple days off because they're older. They're less. They don't need as much. But there is a lot of work that goes into it. There's needs to be a lot of it to be able to trust them in that show pen, to be able to leave your hand down that whole time, and a lot of training, a lot of like showman help. There's just a lot of work that goes into it.
So what is your week? Let's say the show's on Friday or Saturday. What's your week kind of look like leading up to that?
Monday through Thursday is work horses every day. We have about 10 or 11 or something show horses, and then we have like 10 or so ranch horses that we ride them. We just try to get them all rode, just kind of keep that work going, keep that grind, I guess, and just go.
It seems like where you're at in the state, San Pete County, that is cutting country. That's a big thing over there. What was their reaction to you bringing the title to San Pete?
It was, I think it was a really cool thing. Like they were all really excited for me. They all kind of were there for me and just helped me through it all.
Awesome. Well, Caleb, I think that's going to do it for us here, Matt. Unless you've got anything you'd like to add.
No, I appreciate your time, and sounds like you don't have many hours to waste in the day. So really appreciate your time coming on today.
Heck yeah.
Well, Caleb, I just want to echo what Matt said. Congratulations. It was incredible to see how your summer went with the bounce back and things like that. And we will look forward to seeing you later on down the road. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we let you go?
I just want to say, have a huge shout out to Cruz and my parents and my family just for everything they do for me.
That's great. Well, that's going to do it for us here on the MLR show this week. Big thank you to Blaine Myers, Matt Petrie, and of course, Caleb Tree for joining us this week. Invite you to join our broadcast of the 2026 UHSRA Uinta Basin Rodeo live from Duchesne. We'll be at the indoor arena on Friday night. Barrel racing, pole bending, and goat tying happening for you there. And then on Saturday morning, we'll be at the outdoor arena for the rough stock, the tie down, the team roping, and the steer wrestling. I'm Elon Off saying we'll see you later on down the road.
Feral rodeo kids, FRK, raised on grit and bales of hay, riding hoverboards past the food stand line with a rope in their teeth and a dog behind. They warm up horses like they're 10 feet tall, need a ladder just to mount, then outride them all. They are small, but tough as they come, getting run over stomped.
Weekends are meant to be enjoyed, and great food and fun are part of the plan. At the Fairway Restaurant and Bar in Evanston, located at the Purple Sage Golf Course, you will find the perfect place to eat, relax, and unwind. Enjoy a cocktail and a meal worth slowing down for. Open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, with a wide variety of delicious cuisines. Dig into their fresh soup and salad bar, or make your weekend complete with their mouth-watering prime rib every Friday and Saturday night. If you're making Making your way through Evanston, make your way into Fairway Restaurant and Bar. Great food, great atmosphere where Evanston comes to eat.